Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making chocolate macarons. Ingredients you'll need are egg whites, caster sugar, pure icing sugar, cocoa powder and almond flour. All quantities are listed on the screen and also in the description box below. Using my stand mixer, I'm going to whip my egg whites and caster sugar together until it reaches stiff peaks. Placing both the egg whites and all the caster sugar in the mixing bowl, we are then going to turn the mixer on to a medium speed until the sugar has dissolved into the egg whites. While the sugar and egg whites were whipping, I quickly blitzed my almond flour, pure icing sugar and cocoa powder in my blender until the ingredients were incorporated and were a nice fine crumb. Now the sugar has dissolved, I'm going to increase the speed of the mixer to a medium-high. This is to whip air into the meringue and create stiff peaks. This can take up to 10 minutes to dissolve the sugar and create stiff peaks with your meringue. However, don't rush this process. Today I'm not colouring my shells as the addition of cocoa powder will give them a brown colour. Now the meringue is ready, I'm going to do the rest of this recipe by hand using a spatula. This process is called macaronage. To start, I like to pour in my dry ingredients, which today is the almond flour, icing sugar and cocoa powder. I'm going to fold that through quite roughly. Once all the dry mixture is incorporated with the meringue, we are now going to continue to fold the batter until it reaches the right consistency for piping. I like to scrape my spatula around the bowl and then push the spatula through the middle of the mixture, mixing and knocking air out of the meringue slowly. You need to continue to fold and knock air out until it is a shiny batter, and you can make a figure 8 with the mixture, or it has a nice ribbon-like flow when it comes off the spatula. Now to pop this in a piping bag and we're ready to pipe. I'm using my silicone mats again today, but if you don't have them, you can just use baking paper with a template. I was using a number 10 round piping tip to pipe my macaron batter. I sometimes just use the coupler depending on the size of the macarons that I'm piping. To pipe the macarons, you need to hold your piping bag directly over the top of the template, leaving roughly 1 cm gap between the tray and your piping tip. Holding the tip in the center of your circle, applying even pressure and squeezing until the batter domes out, ensuring you have enough pressure to fill your entire circle. You then stop squeezing and flick off. Ensure you aren't leaving peaks on the top of your macarons. You are to repeat the process until your tray is full. I've left the footage of me piping these macarons in real time so you can see how long it actually takes me to pipe a whole tray. Now the tray is full, I'm going to tap the tray on the bench a few times to help bring any air bubbles to the surface. Now using a cocktail stick, you're going to pop those air bubbles and ensure the hole is filled in by wriggling the cocktail stick around. You need to work quickly here as the macaron will start to form a skin being exposed to the air. Once you are happy with how your macarons are looking, we're then going to let them air dry for a minimum of 30 minutes to create that skin. You'll know when they're ready when you can touch the top of the macarons lightly and no batter sticks to your finger. While those dry, we are moving on to making our filling. The ingredients you'll need are egg whites, butter, dark chocolate and caster sugar. These are on the screen and also listed in the description box below. In the bowl of my stand mixer, I pour in the egg whites and caster sugar. I give that a quick mix and then I'm going to heat these egg whites gently over a double boiler. I have a saucepan full of hot water that has come to the boil. Turned off the heat and placed my bowl on top of the saucepan to allow the steam from the boiling water to help cook the egg whites and dissolve the sugar. While over the water, I'm going to constantly whisk the egg whites. The egg whites will become very foamy. To check that they're ready, rub some of the egg mixture between your fingers to ensure that you don't feel any sugar. The mixture should also be warm to the touch. You can also check the temperature with a thermometer. Once the sugar is dissolved and the egg whites are between 50 to 60 degrees, you can remove the bowl and place it on your stand mixer. I'm going to whisk this mixture on high. I have softened my butter in the microwave to make the emulsification of the butter and meringue easier, so it doesn't look like it's split due to different temperatures from the cold butter and the warm meringue. You want to whip the meringue until stiff peaks and it has cooled down slightly before adding in the butter. You can check the temperature of the whipping meringue by touching the side of the bowl. Once you are happy, you can then add in your softened butter. Due to the butter and the meringue being similar consistencies, you can add this in quite quickly. Don't panic at this stage if the meringue starts to look like it deflates straight away. Keep whipping and add all the butter in and it will come together suddenly. Be sure to stop the mixer and scrape down the bowl as well. Once the buttercream had come together, I then melted the dark chocolate in the microwave and am now going to add that straight into the buttercream. Once added to the buttercream, I then re-whip it to ensure that the chocolate is all incorporated. Once all the dark chocolate is incorporated, the buttercream is ready to go. Now that the buttercream is complete, this would be the time to check your macarons to see if they're ready to bake. I baked these macarons at 130 degrees for 14 to 16 minutes. Forgot to get footage of me putting them in the oven, but here's a clip of me taking them out. Once they were out of the oven and completely cool, I then took them off the baking mat. I then went ahead and started pairing my shells. I tried to match them as best as I can. I try to do this by holding both of the shells together on the side and make sure that they are similar size and shape. Once happy with my pairs, it's now time to fill them. Today I'm using an open star piping tip to fill my macarons with my chocolate Swiss meringue buttercream. I have piped the buttercream in the center of the macaron. I then sandwich the macarons together, pressing down slightly to make sure that the buttercream reaches the edges of the macaron shell. That's my recipe for chocolate macarons. I hope you give this recipe a try, and if you do, please tag me on Instagram with your creation. If you liked this video and want to see more tutorials, all things baking and cake decorating, please like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any videos. I upload every Wednesday. See you next time!